Shout out to the real. Shout out to the fake. Shout out to that nosy chick. She better stay in her place. Get in line, punk. Today we got a very special guest, Layla. How you doing? She's a wrestler, she's a boxer, and she's also transgender. And we're here to get in her business. We're here to tell her life story, and we're here to inspire people around the world. Shout out to the real. How you doing, Layla?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So I know you just coming from, you was just doing, I don't know if you did a weigh-in for your boxing match. Did you find out your opponent?
Yes, so my opponent is Summer Brady. She's a little bit stronger than me, but it's not all about the strength. But she's also transgender as well. And I'm really excited. I feel like this is gonna be an historic moment, first ever trans on trans boxing match for celebrity boxing. So it's really a big thing. So I'm really excited for it.
How big is she? Well, she says she's bigger than you. So what do you mean?
Her arms are huge. And, I'm not really an experienced boxer, but, I've been training. I'm really excited. I'm more of a wrestler. So I've been kind of like training with boxing for like a little over a month now. So hopefully by March, I'll be ready and prepared.
No, you will be ready. Do you have information on your opponent?
She was the first to participate as far as the first trans for celebrity boxing. She was the first one, but she had to fight a male because there was no trans woman that would step up. So I was the one that stepped up, and I'm ready.
So did she win that fight?
Yes, she did.
So you got a fight on your hands right here.
Yes, I do.
All right, and she's more experienced than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that doesn't mean anything though. So how long are the rounds? 2 minutes?
I'm honestly, I think 1 minute. I'm not sure. Yeah.
You gotta know. You can't be unsure. Because I don't know if they do things differently in celebrity boxing. I know amateurs is 2 minutes. So 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know they do something a little bit different. It's not the same as far as like the length and stuff in the rounds. So I'm pretty sure they said 1 minute.
So who's training you?
So my trainer, his name is Derek Gramling. He's located in Rochester, New York, where I'm from. That's where I live, is in Rochester. And the gym is called Team Lift. So he's been really doing good with helping me.
Okay,
all right. So,
did someone say
Team Lifts? So where you work out at? That's good.
Yes, I work out there. Yeah.
All right. So wrestling. Let's get to the wrestling part of it. So you're an experienced wrestler. How long you been doing that?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years. So y'all perform in different locations?
Yes. So the wrestling that I train at, it's called Upstate Professional Wrestling. It's located in Rochester. There are wrestling locations in the surrounding areas. I travel. It's more of an independent thing. You just got to get yourself out there, make a name for yourself, and have people book you.
All right. So how do they set up who wins?
So it's really based on just experience and just, I guess your look. There's a lot of different things with it, being that I am a tall and strong woman, I usually am the one that gets the upper hand, since a lot of the women that I wrestle, I'm a little bit bigger than them. So
what's your measurements?
Well, I'm 5'11", I'm 180. So
you 5'11"? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a pretty tall girl.
Amazon,
definitely.
Especially with those heels on. Woo!
Yeah, I didn't know you was that tall. I thought you was shorter than that. I couldn't tell by your by the pictures. I couldn't
Yeah, a
tell.
lot of people say that. Yeah, they think I'm a little smaller. I don't know why.
It does look like that. So, what is your go-to move?
With wrestling,
Yeah.
I really am hoping to, just really become the next big thing. I'm really loving that there are actual trans athletes as far as wrestlers. There's several trans wrestlers that are out right now. So I'm really happy about that. So that gives me an opportunity. I'm hoping to be on AEW hopefully this year. That
Mhm.
was my goal. But yeah, that's my goal with wrestling, just to keep on doing it and hopefully inspire other women that want to wrestle. Because I've had quite a few trans women actually reach out to me and tell me like, I really wish that I had the confidence to do what you're doing. So I'm really happy that I'm inspiring other women.
That's a beautiful thing, and that's what we're here to do, inspire. Well, what's your finishing move when you pin somebody? How does it go down? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You ain't
so my
yeah.
move is called the DOL, which is called the dose of Layla, and giving people a dose of me. And basically, what it is, I do have it on my Instagram. I do have some clips of me doing it, but I put the person on my shoulder and then I basically spin them out and slam them onto their back.
Mm. And at that point, it's over with.
Yep, it's totally over for them.
Mm. So there's a lot of choreographing go into this.
Yeah, I would say yes and no. Sometimes there's times where you kind of like you forget what you're doing, so you kind of like just kind of go with the flow of things. You call it out. It's really just based on experience of how well you are. But I know with me, since I'm still sort of new, considering that 2 years, it does seem long, but it's still pretty green in the wrestling world. For
Mhm.
someone to say they really are experienced, that's like someone that's been in the business for like, 7 years. So,
Mhm.
I'm still pretty green, but I'm learning and I'm having fun with it.
And that's
So,
a beautiful thing. So when we talk about this boxing match being the first trans against trans, this is history in the making, and you're making history. Little do you know if you feel the importance of that. But how do you feel about trans against women, men against trans, and that type of thing? That's been a lot of discussion. There's been a lot of backlash. So how do you feel about it?
I mean, I think it's really silly when I can definitely speak on there was an incident where, I was posted on the celebrity boxing page and a lot of negative comments were happening. They were telling me that I should be fighting a man. They were considering me a man. They were saying that, oh well, they were saying he shouldn't be fighting a woman. And I think that a lot of people aren't really educated with the whole, trans women. I'm on hormones. I've been on hormone therapy for about 6 years. So I really have no testosterone at all. Like I always get checked to see what my levels are. And the doctor had told me that like my levels are like to where they would normally be for a woman. So it's not like I'm like this big, strong, person. I know they say like, oh well, since I was born a man, that I naturally would have strength. But I'm really honestly not as strong as I used to be before my transition. Like, because I used to be someone that was a bodybuilder. I was a bodybuilder before my transition, and I was a lot stronger. Now it's like a struggle for me to work out. I really sometimes don't even have any energy. I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Mhm.
So I do feel that people need to know that someone that has been transitioning for a while, we don't really have the same strength as we used to as like a man. I feel like, even if I am born, biological male, I feel like people also need to know, that if I'm living my life as a woman, that's what, you should be able to respect that, the pronouns of, a woman. So I do like that there are more trans athletes coming out. And, I do feel that, we should be able to have different categories, like as far as like have our own trans sports. I do know that people are against, trans going against other women, but, hopefully one day we'll have our own, sports that are out for all of us. But
Yeah, that
but I
sounds good. I think it should be individually based.
yeah, I mean, I don't agree with us like competing with men though. I don't think that's the appropriate thing to do. Um,
Right.
I mean, what do you think? Do you feel that trans women should, if they're in a sport, they should compete with men?
No, I think trans should compete against trans. And as far as, women crossing over to men or men crossing over to women, I don't know the right terminology, so I don't want to offend anybody. But I do know it should be case by case. Some women got some strong testosterone. So some women, you know what I'm saying, gotta have their levels checked
Right.
too. They gotta do something to some women need to be fighting some men. You know what I mean? I see some strong women out there. So in that case, if you got a docile woman and she's not I'm only talking about fighting. You know what I'm saying? I think it should be case by case. If there's a woman, you know what I mean? Some women are, if they're like so small, so feminine, and it just can't happen, then it's something a little bit different. But I do think it should be weighed case by case. Size is definitely a factor, but it's kind of complex. It's kind of complex, but I feel like it should be case by case. People should be faced up against who they match up against, and that's only in fighting. Now, when it comes to other sports, that's something different. But when it comes to whooping ass, I think it should just be like men. Everything should be weighed up. Everybody should weigh the same. Be around the same area and size and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like, well, yeah, trans against trans, that's definitely a fair fight. But like I said, it's always gonna be a lot of people who's having opinions. It's always gonna be people that's gonna, no matter what you do, somebody's gonna say something negative. So how do you deal with that negativity?
Well, before I answer that, I just wanted to touch base back on that topic. I wanted to say also that one thing I've noticed when it comes to women transitioning to men, a lot of people don't really have anything bad about that as far as like trans men competing. I don't get that, because if a trans man is competing against a man, they were biological born a woman. I mean, no one really has anything negative to say about the woman that transitioned to a man competing with other men. And I just think it's kind of like very kind of funny how people don't really care about trans men like that, but they care more about trans women.
You're right. You made it.
You know,
You made a strong point right there.
Because it's kind of like if let's just say if a trans man is competing against a man as far as fighting, I wonder if people are really going to think like, okay, well, you're really hitting a man. You get what I mean?
No, I know exactly.
I mean, a woman.
You're hitting
Yeah.
a woman, and you're right. It doesn't get enough attention, and I wonder why that is. I'm not even paying that attention. I guess because
it's sexist. It's always been sexist. Women has always been undermined. Period. So they look as a woman wanting to transition into a man. They already think women lesser than anyway. Technically speaking, I mean, look how society is. Look how they view women. Like, seriously, they don't really value us.
Wow. Yeah.
That's my personal opinion looking throughout history. You know what I'm saying? Like, there should never been a question about whether a woman should have the rights over her own body. Like, come on now. Like, it's just too much. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, we had to fight to vote. We got to fight for this. We got to fight to control our own bodies. Like, okay, you know, like, this is really man's world. Like, seriously, women are very, period. Whether you was born that way or you was made up that way. Women are undermined, period. We're not thought of the same. We're not cared about the same.
Well, I just think that as a Black person, I think Black people, you know, we had to fight for everything. We had to believe in. I mean, we had to fight for everything. So we're not valued as a people. So before you get to the woman and the man thing, you got to value each other as Black people and minorities, period.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. That's what I think about the whole thing. And when it comes to each other, we don't value each other. As men don't value women, and the women don't value men, and it trickles down. So that's what I think about that. So Layla. So so you got the boxing, you got the wrestling. What else do you do outside of that? What else do you want to get to the other wrestling league? You want to take it further, right? Have you been in contact with anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I just really basically just, you know, I keep getting myself out there. I'm hoping to be seen by the right person, you know, to where I'm actually, you know, on the big screen, which I feel like this celebrity boxing is really going to help open those doors for me to be able to, you know, get that opportunity. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what this brings. You know, I feel like it's going to be a really big thing. But aside from boxing and wrestling, you know, I also am an OnlyFans model. So I also do that as well. But I mean, who does it?
Who does it? Who does it? Edge, hold up. Edge, you on OnlyFans, Edge?
Am I on OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said, "Who is it?" So I wanted to know. I got to get my OnlyFans too.
I might as well be on OnlyFans. Should give me an extra bag.
You know? I know. Get that bag, girl.
I ain't showing no skin. I can have food porn on my shit because I cook.
So Layla, we're gonna get to all of that stuff in a minute. So let's talk about your upbringing. So how did you grow up?
Okay, wow. So growing up was actually a struggle for me. I actually was the only African American that was in my school where I grew up. So I dealt with a lot of racism. Not only racism, but also I dealt with a lot of homosexual comments, like, you know, people calling me gay, faggot, all that stuff. But it was like a double whammy because I also, you know, was called nigger, and, you know, I was threatened. People were threatening me to kill me because I was Black. So and what got me into that town was I was adopted by a white family. So that's why I was in that type of environment. And, you know, I dealt with that all the way until I graduated. So it was really rough. But I'm happy because it made me become a strong person, you know, dealing with stuff like that, you know, all my life, you know. And, you know, it was kind of one of those things too, where, you know, I kind of felt like it was just me against everyone. You know, I was the only Black person. I had to always get physical and fight. But then, of course, you know, I was always the one that would get in trouble for it with just defending myself. Because, you know, I guess since I was the only Black person and more of the aggressor, you know, I would always get in trouble for that. So it's like,
was defending yourself.
Exactly. I was defending myself, but since I was the one that caused the most damage, you know, I'm the one that
should have to protect yourself from people running their mouth.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, you was whooping a lot of ass in school.
Yes, I sure was.
Right on for you. As thank you for giving you pre-training. You feel me?
So,
Yeah,
so
sure
you have
was.
a lot of experience defending yourself and fighting.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, as a trans woman, no, I've luckily I've been okay. I haven't experienced, thank goodness, I haven't experienced anything to where I've had to, defend myself in any way. And I do feel like things have changed over the years. Back then, growing up, it was a lot worse, I feel like, but now people are more accepting of us. And so it's a lot better.
Mhm. So what about your parents? Did you know your parents?
Yeah, so I was adopted because my mother, she was really bad with drug use, so she was unable to take care of me. So that's why I was adopted. And now it's like I don't really have a relationship with my family, my biological family, because they don't agree with my lifestyle. So it's just always been like that all these years. I still don't have any type of acceptance with my brother, my biological brother. My mother, she's a lot better, but she's still like, I mean, we can go years without talking to each other.
So
Mhm.
sorry.
So
What
so
about your dad? Did you know your father?
my father, I never met him before.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know who my father is.
So
So
the parents.
Family, how does your adopted family treat you?
my adopted family has always been accepting, has always treated me good, and that's what's kind of like hurtful, because it's kind of like, you know, my family that isn't really my family is accepting of me, but my real family has never been, accepting. And that's my Black family. So
Mhm.
it's kind
Well,
of crazy.
family is definitely different. You have your biological family. Your real family is the family that accepted you and adopted you.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that you're born into, then you have family that really show themselves as family. So God chose right for you. Unfortunately, your mother chose the route that she chose, and she had to give you up for adoption. That was just God's plan, because you
Mhm.
see how they would have done. You probably wouldn't even be on this interview right now had you just stayed with your biological family.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything has a purpose and a reason. And I'm glad that God brought you to those people that actually accepted you for who you are as an individual.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Shout out to the real. So how did your fam? How did what did your adopted family talk to you about when did you know that you was you know when you was the other way?
So I always kind of knew something was different with me, because I always, I was always feminine growing up. I've always been into the women's clothing. I've always wanted to wear hair and makeup. Um, but they were okay with it. It was just my biological family, when I would try to, build a relationship with them, they would always, yell at me, be like, you can't wear that. I even had, like, my cousins would actually like beat me up, back when I was young, because they were trying to, like, beat me and try to toughen me up, and telling me that, I shouldn't end up like that. So yeah, it was really rough. So yeah.
So how did that make you feel? How does that make you feel? How did it make you feel going through that? And just looking back on that, and at the time, did you how did you feel towards yourself when they wanted to hit you, beat on you, shun you away? How did
Mhm.
you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was horrible. There was times where I've actually wanted to just end my life, because I just felt like I was alone. I felt like no one really liked me. I felt like people were just treating me so horribly. I mean, I was going through it, because I felt like, there was something wrong with my skin at the time, because, there was a time even where I didn't even want to be Black, because I always constantly was called nigger all the time. I always had, racial jokes. So it was crazy. It was rough. And like yeah, I had to go through counseling and everything because I was mentally, I just couldn't take it.
Mm.
So
Well,
So
you fought through that.
huh?
I said, I'm glad that you are still here and you fought through that.
Yes, and yeah, and like I said, I feel like it really has made me become a strong person. You know, I feel like a lot of people that um have experienced like things like that to them, they kind of just are, I feel like they end up cruel and hate the world and things. And I'm just happy that I'm still, you know, a very good person. And I've always been a person that has always been very loving and caring. I'm just happy that I'm not like some mean person that just hates the world and be like, fuck all of you.
That's
So,
giving energy.
yeah. So that's why I've always been that kind of person because I know how it feels to be mistreated and to be, you know, bullied. So I'm always there for people and always, you know, loving and caring. It doesn't matter like what your race is or what your gender is or like, you know, if you have a disability or anything, I've always just been that person. Yeah.
so
'Cause
as a kid, did you go and do anything traumatic that made you, you know, change over? Did you go through anything?
um no, I mean not really. I mean I do kind of feel like I maybe possibly had changed from, I mean, I don't wait, so I don't know how detailed we can be on this show.
You can get this is your story. We be in
Okay.
detail.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean I did act sexually at a young age. You know, I did have a neighbor that was older than me and I mean people would say like he abused me, but I mean I wasn't abused. He kind of like told me what to do with him and so I did perform fellatio on him at a young age. I was only 7 years old and he
Hmm.
was
That's
16.
molestation.
Yeah, so I was doing that for so many years and then, you know, as I got older, you know, I was 14 when it stopped. So as I got older, you know, that's when I kind of felt like I was really like fully into that, you know what I mean? But the thing is that like people like, you know, some of my family had said like maybe that was the reason why I'm the way I am, but I always was still very girly, you know, when I was born, you know, at a very before that happened, I was always still, you know, girly, feminine.
So you're abusive. You know
Okay,
what I'm
I'm sorry.
saying?
Did you like before that happened? You know, I know some boys, males, born males, as kids, they don't like girls or anything like that. Did you ever like a girl prior to
No,
that? You
no, from what I remember, I mean, I really don't remember really.
7 is young, and for most 7-year-olds, born male or born female, we don't like each other. It's like cats and dogs anyway.
Yeah.
Get a chance to really like have that first, oh, I like her or I like him type of moment. So it was like you didn't even get to that real peak to like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like what happened to you kind of interfered with the balance of like, because you could be a feminine male, you know what I'm saying, want to take care of your cuticles, have slick hair, all the stuff like that, but not like your same gender. You feel me? You could be
Yeah.
feminine gender. So it's just kind of like that's messed up that you got taken advantage of that way without really discovering yourself on your own is what I'm trying to say. Without that,
Yeah.
but that wasn't right, and that's not normal, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I just remember, like, I just know that I always, you know, was the one to play with like the dolls and things like that. You know, I wasn't really that, you know, that boy. I honestly feel like it's true, you know, when they say like you're born in the wrong body, I really honestly feel like that was my case. You know, I was just born and I was meant to be a female instead of a male. And, you know, here I am now. But
Shout
Right.
out to the room.
doctors and science. Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, so,
I don't see the whole body, but
Hold
I see
up.
all right here and I see a little bit of this, and I'm like, you feel me?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so your abuser, did you feel any type of way towards him? Did y'all still talk later on in life?
No, we actually hadn't. After that whole thing happened, like when I was 14, that's when it actually had discontinued because I was actually, I was actually writing this stuff. Like I had a journal that I would always write all the things that was happening, and my mom had found it, and that's how things had stopped. So
Now, what did she do about it?
she had did legal action, but really all he had was I think he had like probation or something. He didn't go to jail or anything.
Technically speaking, you both minors, but
Angie, hold up, wait, Angie, hold up. Remember, the screen jumps, so we talk, it jumps around. We can't both talk at the same time on this platform, the way it is.
Yeah, so yeah, wait, I'm sorry, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, my question was, you abused, he got in trouble. So how did you feel towards him? Because you act like, you know what I'm saying, you didn't feel no type of way towards him for what he's done. Did that cause you any type of mental trauma? You know what I'm saying? Did it mess you up psychologically?
I mean, honestly, like I can't really remember as far as like being 7 doing it, but I honestly remember like as I got older, I actually was liking it. Like I was growing to like it. So like I would actually want to do it. Once I knew what I was doing, I wanted to always do it. So as silly and crazy as it sounds, when we were caught, I was upset that I wasn't able to see him. That from what I remember.
Was you upset because like that was the only person that you know what I'm saying, you felt connected with? Or was there other people at that time?
That's a good question. I honestly am not sure. I just think that maybe I was just just doing the sexual acts with him, and I don't know. I mean, I really don't know the answer to that. I think maybe I just enjoyed doing it for him. I felt like, I was always pleasing him, so I guess maybe, I felt
And
like I always had to be there.
and that's where it stopped. It
Yes, it
didn't go
stopped.
past. All right. So when did you start, you know what I'm saying, having sexual relationships with other men?
So after the whole situation with him, when that ended, it was sort of like, I feel like I was sort of like taught to do that. So I felt like I always needed to do it. So I remember when I was in school, I always would ask the boys, hey, do you want this? Do you want it was called a blow job at the time.
It's still called a
Oh,
blowjob.
oh, really?
blowjob is
Yeah, so I would always I'd always, try to go after the boys and be like, "Hey, you want a blowjob?"
Mm-hmm.
So
That was your come on line.
yeah, and I was much more bold then because I even would try to get with some of the teachers too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy.
Did you ever get with some of your teachers?
No.
All right. So how old was you when you had this first sexual experience?
Before, are you saying besides the 7?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Besides blowjobs.
I was so 14. I was 14. I actually did something with someone much older than me again. And so, yeah. It
So
was...
psychological. Go ahead, no, finish. My bad. I'm sorry.
Huh?
No, finish. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was it. Just someone that was older when I was 14. I remember he was in his 40s.
Oh, another rapist.
Yeah. But like I said, I feel like, you know, at the time, you know, I was at that age, I was very, you know, open and willing. So I would be I would do grooming behavior, like I would do flirty behavior, and, you know, basically let it be known that that's what I wanted to do. So I think I seduced him, and he just thought, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Even though, you know, it obviously still was wrong of him to do it, but, you know.
All right. And you got something real quick?
Oh, yes. No, my bad. My dog, you know, I got a pit. She hella sensitive. And right. But yes, I do got something to say. You never thought about pressing charges against these predators? Because they're predators.
Yeah. Well, to be quite honest,
and it's
I really don't know. It's happened so long ago. You know, because right now I'm 34. So, you know, and I don't know where that guy is. I don't know where either one of them are. So I wouldn't really even be able to if I guess wanted to.
Right. And what about your relation status now? You can't be up on somebody's shelf just waiting on the sideline. Somebody got you snatched up. Who got you right now?
I'm single right now.
Stop playing, for real?
Yeah, I'm single. It's kind of hard dating, you know, being the kind of girl I am. You know, I struggle with guys that are not wanting to, you know, date a trans woman openly. So you know, it's always been like that for me. I also feel like it's the city that I'm in, because, you know, I live in a little small city, Rochester. I do see that when I'm in other cities, like bigger cities, men are more approachable. You know, men will actually want to do stuff and hang out. So I think maybe I just need to move or go somewhere else, somewhere where it's more trans accepting.
Okay. Did you think about doing reality TV? You ever think about doing reality TV?
Oh yes, absolutely. I actually applied for you know, your previous guest, Sydney Starr. I know that she's having a show come out, and I actually was interested in being on that show.
Yes, so. She is out with the all trans show. I think that's absolutely awesome. I love Sydney Starr. I love her truth. You know what I'm saying? She a little bit, she off the rockers, but I respect her crazy. You feel me? I respect her crazy. You know, and so I would think that'll be a great matchup. It'll be a great platform for you and all the other trans women out there to sit there and like really get the understanding out about, because there's not a lot of information, especially when it comes with you guys in sports. Because as a parent of a female athlete and a former athlete myself, you know what I'm saying, it does raise questions. You know what I'm saying, about, you know, the body structure and the physicality of things. Because I've seen fights with a transgender woman fighting a woman, and it wasn't right. Like it seemed like it was like an all-out assault, like height-wise, and like the transgender woman's hand was like damn near the size of the woman's face. It was like y'all not right. Like this matchup not right. This matchup not right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you're coming out and coming forward, more of you coming forward to have more information, because we could ask certain people and they don't have the answers. Like we need to have the individuals themselves give out the information instead of everybody speculating, because it comes speculation and people become ignorant with that. So I'm glad that Sydney Starr is coming out. I'm glad that you're out. I can't wait to see this fight. I can't wait to see. I need to see I'm ready to place a bet. Where you guys gonna fight at?
Yeah, so
is it pay-per-view? Like how can the public watch your fight?
So it's actually gonna be in Atlantic City, and it's going to be at the Showboat in in Jersey, Atlantic City. So you'd have to actually just see it in person. You can get tickets, celebrityboxing.com. And yeah, so if you're interested, you just gotta come and watch me live, baby.
But if not, you got a management team that's going to be recording for you.
Yeah, it will be on YouTube. So if you're not, yeah, so it will be something that would be on YouTube. It's not going to be live, but they will post it after.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I'm excited for you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And honestly, the thing about it is that I honestly, let's just say, if I lose, I still feel like I'm a winner, because the whole goal is to really just inspire other trans athletes that want to do things like this, because I really feel like a lot of us, a lot of trans women are just really scared to do these things, because they're scared of getting criticized and scared of the negative comments and things like that. And
I got a whole community behind y'all. You know that, a whole community. Let anybody disrespect anything negative, it's finna go down quick, fast, and in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? I need to be scared. Now I need to get out there, and you know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is definitely power.
Yeah.
Definitely with y'all on that. Go ahead, cousin.
Yeah, you gotta let her talk. The screen is gonna jump, man. And we're not gonna be able to promote things right. So you gotta let her finish your thought. So it's boxing matches next. Did you even audition for the Sydney Star thing? Did you audition for it?
Yeah, I sent my video.
Sent your video. All right.
So,
Do you mind letting me get that? I could probably get it to her faster.
yeah, sure.
Send it to me after this, and I'll get it to her. I'll send it over to her. So let's talk about this, man. So you got this OnlyFans thing. Mm-hmm. So what type of man are you interested in?
As far as dating?
Period. We're gonna clear it through everything anyway.
I like all types of men.
Talk about it.
I like men that I don't know. I just like all men. It doesn't matter what race. I just like a guy that's attractive. I'm really a person that likes the personality. So I like personality. If we have a connection, that's what matters. Because guys can look good, but they can be lame. So it's really about that. But if I'm having some fun, it really doesn't matter. I do kind of like a guy that can be a little rough. Someone that, is dominant, tells me what to do. I like that.
You like that? You like that in your personal life and in the bedroom?
Yeah, I like it in the bedroom. Woo, I know.
So, what's some of the things that we'll see if we go on your OnlyFans? Tell the people.
Oh my goodness. Well, really, honestly, I'm always doing fellatio, like oral. So you're gonna see a lot of that, a lot of sucking, because that's what my videos, my most popular videos are my sucking videos. So a lot of people love watching that. So
that turns you on.
Huh?
So that's your biggest turn on.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, and that's crazy to say, because what I told the story I told you previously when the first thing I did, but that's what I really do the most. So.
So what about when you're intimate with a guy, when you're having sex with him? You know what I'm saying? What are your interests in that?
Same. I'm very submissive. I really kind of like a guy that takes control. tells me what to do, that sort of thing.
Does your equipment work? Yeah, working equipment, or is it just, I'm just, you gotta know.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to answer that one.
I'm saying, so you have never had sex with a woman?
No, I haven't. I've just eaten their kitty cats.
How did you get in that situation?
Um, honestly, I just wanted to try it, I just kind of asked. It was easy.
So you just went up to a woman and said, "Let me eat that pussy"?
Well, I mean, it was someone I knew, So yeah, I did ask one of my friends. I told her, I was like, "Hey, can I eat your pussy?" And she let me.
Did you like it?
Yeah, she liked it. Yeah, she liked it. I wasn't turned on by it though. So I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I do find women attractive. I But I don't know. That's the most I would do, is probably just eat their bots. I wouldn't do anything else. I mean, I have done OnlyFans videos with women, and I've had women do like use strap-ons on me. So that's kind of like the most that I would do.
So how many sexual partners is the most you ever had sex with at one time?
Just two. My goal is I've always wanted to do a scene where it's like a gangbang scene, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like guys are like so like nervous and scary, It'd have to be like something, maybe like if it was something I was doing, it'd have to be like actually like produce, like actual people that do this for a living, that do
Porn.
that adult entertainment. Yeah.
Mm.
To get in contact with Bobby Likes, he had a character on his show on, Who Loves Bobby Per on Zeus Network. And I forget his name though. But he was always doing, he got dreads in his hair and stuff.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, you might want to hook up with him, like, and see about his people. You feel me? His network to get a role on that. So
yeah,
don't put yourself out. You feel me? Like, you can still get that.
Couldn't do anything with him though. He's too big for me.
You gotta try it. Don't knock it till you try. That's discrimination against size. Don't just say it against size. You ever taken something that big? I don't know how big it is. I ain't seen it, but
yeah, it's humongous. No, I have never. Yeah, it's all on his Twitter.
I'm going to this Twitter right after this interview. Like, let me see. Damn.
Yeah, no, I'm not really a girl that, I mean, I like just average. I'm like an average type girl.
Okay, so on some spice tip, you feel me? Like, what size the measurement you like?
I don't know, like anything that, I mean, if it's above 8, that's a little bit too much for me. So I honestly like, and it's funny because guys that I've met, they always are like thinking like I'm just a girl that just likes huge penises. I don't know why. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't know if you're gonna like me. My dick isn't big." I'm like, "No, that's good. That's perfect. I'm so happy that you have a small penis."
They say it's the little things that count, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
but
man.
As long as he's a shooter, that's one thing I love. I like a guy that shoots.
You like to be shot in the face?
Yeah, I love sperm. So I love a guy that has a big load of it.
Okay,
So
wait,
how many low?
you like golden showers?
I've done that before, but I mean, I would do it. It's not something that I would be like, oh, I gotta have it, but I have done it before.
Yeah, okay, that's definitely a hot topic with Young Miami and Diddy because she said she loved golden showers.
I
So
know.
all right, go ahead, cousin. My bad.
Oh, where is he?
I'm right here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The screen jumped. So when it keeps doing that, it gets crazy. That's why I've been trying to, let one person talk at a time. So when you talk about the trans community, what would you like to tell them?
um, I would like to tell them, to just, live your life, be you. Don't let anyone try to stop you from living your dream. And yeah, just be that girl.
And what about regular people? The people in the world that have negative opinions about trans women and trans men, and people like that. What do you like to say to them?
I mean, I feel that they should kind of think to themselves, what if I was in their shoes? How would I feel if someone had treated me like that? And maybe if they had experienced, the struggles that we go through, I probably feel like they wouldn't, act the way they are now, like so negative, because we as trans people, we go through a lot, and I don't think people really realize that. And it's a lot that comes with it. I mean, every day, I would say every day is a risk for us. We have to worry about if someone's going to try to attack us or try to, kill us, take our lives. I mean, there's a lot of trans women that are always being murdered because, men are, hating us,
Mm,
especially in the Black community. So
mm,
I'm hoping that, people will just realize, that we are people. We're all people. We should all treat each other equal, no matter what we are.
mm.
We all have to stick together.
And what about parents that's raising kids? How do you feel about changing gender early, or people, parents, like the Dwayne Wade situation is willing to, take his joint off and all of that. How do you feel about parents raising kids if they don't want them to be gay or transgender or anything like that? How do you feel they should respond as a parent?
Um, well, coming from someone that actually experienced, my family not wanting to deal with me, I feel like that, just be supportive to your child. Just be there for them, make sure it's really something that they want. And if it's not something you totally agree with, just don't be so negative about it, because a lot of parents don't realize that that stuff really affects children when they're being mistreated at such a young age by their families and stuff. And I do feel like that's why a lot of people now are so afraid to come out or like a certain gender because they're worried it's really coming from how they're being raised. They're worried about their family disowning them, not talking to them anymore, their parents not wanting to be around them. And when we're growing up, our family is what we have, so we want, of course, we don't want our family, we don't want to lose our family, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say is, just definitely always make sure you're there and supportive, and educate yourself, be educated.
Mm. So 2023, what's three of your biggest goals? What has to happen in 2023 to be a successful year?
Um, so 2023 for me, I really am excited about this boxing thing. I really feel like it's going to open a lot of doors. I want to continue on and see where it takes me as far as other sports. You know, I did find out that there's actually kickboxing for trans women that they're going to be releasing towards the middle of the year. So I think that's really great. I am hoping that you know, I can really just really inspire other trans athletes or women that want to do sports. And, you know, that's kind of like a big goal for me. My wrestling career, I told myself that in 2023, this year, my wrestling is going to definitely take off to the next level. So I'm really definitely hoping for that. And hopefully I'll also have a man this year too.
Cool. So, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear
Right now, with life, period.
That's a great question. I honestly, I'm really not sure. I mean, I feel like I'm on the right path right now. I think that maybe just giving up, maybe that would be a fear for me. I just hope I don't give up on myself, and I just hope I keep pushing and keep going.
Mm-hmm. So, how would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself? I mean,
not yourself, your life to this point, man. If you had to look back on your life right now, how would you describe it?
I honestly feel like, you know, I'm happy that I went through a lot of challenges in life, because now I know that I can really, you know, deal with a lot, and I'm a fighter, you know. So I I don't know. I just think that, you know, I'm, like I said previously, I'm just happy that I'm a nice person, you know. Dealing with those horrible things has really just made me become a better person. I feel like it just made me become really strong. I do remember you asking me something about how do I handle negative comments and things like that. And I just kind of, you know, I'm just kind of like to the point where it's just kind of like I've learned to just ignore and just kind of laugh it off, because, you know, I'm just so used to people being stupid like that. So I just kind of like, just ignore it and just let it go by, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you see the world right now? If you had to give me a sentence on how you see the world, what would you say?
How do I see the world right now? I mean, I just think, I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, just crazy.
So, how do you see people?
I see people as people, you know, like I said previously, I see people as people. You know, I'm not really someone that has been, you know, hateful towards anyone, no matter like what they are or what they do. I've just always been very caring. Like I hate people that bully others, and I hate when people like make fun of others like online. You know, I'm always the one that will always stick up and like defend them. Like it just really bothers me whenever I see like someone being so mean for no reason, because we really don't know what people go through, you know? So I just feel like you always should be kind no matter what. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my top.
Lose it.
Yeah, if you want to show us a little bit of that, we wouldn't mind.
Right. Go ahead. Be natural with it. Go ahead.
All right. So we coming to a close here.
So
I know. So tell everybody what you're doing. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yes. So I am Layla James. You can find me on Instagram as Miss Layla Bunny. I am a professional wrestler. the next professional trans boxer and OnlyFans model. So I'm a little bit of everything, you know? And so definitely that's where you can find me on Instagram. I'm starting up YouTube soon too. So I always all my things are just Miss Layla Bunny. So everything is Miss Layla Bunny. My Twitter, my Snapchat, my Instagram, everything.
All right. One last thing I need you to do. Shout out to the real, highly dysfunctional.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you. Shout out to Highly Dysfunctional. I really appreciate you having me. I enjoyed our little interview and it was fun. So make sure you definitely follow him on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, and yeah, awesome.
Shout out to the real. Shout out to the real, highly dysfunctional. I'll be in contact. Thanks for coming on the show. We right back here in an hour and a half at 6 o'clock. Thank you for coming on the show, Layla. We'll be speaking again.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice
All
meeting
right.
you. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Later.